It's all relative. There is no artistic truth. Beauty is just a matter of personal preference and subjective value. Well, if that's true, if that's the case, then you would have to acknowledge that this piece of art might be beautiful to somebody, legitimately beautiful. Do you know what this piece of art is? This was famous a number of years ago. It was a highly controversial piece of art that was put out. This is an image of a crucifix supposedly suspended in a jar of the artist's urine. It's deliberately and blatantly blasphemous, disgusting, and wicked. But the artist thought it was beautiful. Shall we grant that to him? Sure. What's true for you is true for you. What's true for me is... No. This is objectively ugly art. God doesn't like it. How about this piece of art? The Grim Reaper, a death art, and this is a popular thing out there for many. They view it as beautiful, but they are wrong. In God's eyes, death is not beautiful. So how about music? Is music merely a matter of preference? Is music amoral? We've been told amoral means that there are no moral qualities to music. It's simply a matter of personal preference. For example, if I polled the audience here and I asked, how many of you prefer blueberries over strawberries? How many of you prefer strawberries over blueberries? We'd maybe get a 50-50 split. And as a preacher, I would not make an issue out of that. Blueberries are objectively the moral fruit for Christians to eat. No, I wouldn't do that, because that's a matter of preference. It's a matter of preference what kind of broom you use when you're sweeping the garage. I like to use the push broom like this, but some people maybe prefer a regular broom like that. It's a matter of preference, not a moral issue. Those are amoral issues. Blueberries, strawberries, broom styles. Is music amoral, the style of music you use? Or is there something objective we can say that is universally applicable, that is objectively true in the area of musical style? Now, if you consult Christian musicians like Thomas Dorsey, they will tell you that musical style is completely amoral. We read the message is not in the music, but in the words of the song. It matters not what kind of movement the song has. If the words are Jesus, heaven, faith, and life, then you have a song with which God is pleased. That's the Christian musician point of view of today. Now let's contrast that with the secular scholar's point of view. Psychiatrist Dr. Howard Hansen says, music is made up of many ingredients, and according to the proportion of these components, it can be soothing or invigorating, ennobling or vulgarizing, philosophical or orgiastic. It has the powers for evil as well as good. So you're hearing from the scholarly community, the secular scientists are saying music has the power for evil or good. It's the Christian musicians, by and large, who are saying that music is amoral. In fact, I've never heard from any source other than a Christian musician or somebody promoting contemporary Christian music. I've never heard from anybody other than them that music is amoral. What you're looking at here is what's called a mosh pit. This was a very, very popular form of music in the 1990s in the thrash metal movement, where people would thrash about and elbow each other and smash each other in a wild frenzy of dancing. Now, this was not only popular in the secular setting of worldly music, but we also saw this within Christian music. Christians who believed that music was amoral and it was merely a matter of your personal preference accepted this, and they said, you know, we can worship God to this. There were 4 thrash metal churches in Los Angeles where people would go into a mosh pit in so-called worship of God. If we believe that there is nothing objective we can say about music, for good or for evil, then we have to accept that. We have to say, you know, maybe the angels worship like that in heaven with violence. In fact, Frank Garlock of Majesty Music, who studied music in secular universities for many years, he has degrees in music, explains that of all the professors he ever had in the music departments of the biggest music schools in America, he never had one professor that believed music was amoral. If we take this even more seriously on a spiritual level, and we look at Roger Morneau, he is a former Satanist who was on the inside of a satanic secret society in Montreal, Canada for a number of years in the post-World War II era. He came out of that and revealed what was going on inside that community. And he witnessed people who had been oppressed by demonic spirits. And here's what he had to say about one woman who had been listening to popular music and it was altering her emotions. He says, the high priest of the satanic society said that the demon spirits love to play games with Christians. First of all, they love to move upon people's imaginations and to create strong feelings of anger, fear, love, and grief. They can create all these feelings in people, and people believe it's their own being. There's something spiritual to this too. It's not just a scientific manipulation of the emotions. The demon spirits like to play upon people. And he said this in the context of a woman who was immersed in rock music, popular music. They like to create feelings in us and we end up thinking it's our own being.